Jongle, Upper Nile, and Warab. By collaborating with iRadio, you can connect with diverse communities and target audiences in these regions.
Community engagement partnering with iRadio means engaging with communities at a grassroots levels. Your message will resonate with listeners in various locations, fostering meaningful interactions and driving brand awareness.
Comprehensive coverage with stations in strategic locations like Reng, Malakal, and Baliet. iRadio offers comprehensive coverage that reaches both urban centers and remote areas. Your partnership with iRadio ensures visibility across a wide geographic area. Don't miss out on that.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The National Council of Ministers has approved the budget for South Sudan to host the Nile Basin Day celebrations in February, paving the way for the country to stage a major regional event in Juba. A civil society group has issued a legal demand to the government of South Sudan over the prolonged shortage of passport and nationality card booklets, warning of possible court action if the issue is not resolved within 3 weeks. And veteran politician and former National Minister of Transport, Dr. Lamakola Jawin, has urged journalists to uphold the principles of professionalism and resist giving politicians free platforms to advance their personal or political agendas. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo. And now the news in detail. The National Cabinet has approved the budget for South Sudan to host the Nile Basin Day celebrations in February, paving the way for the country to stage a major regional event in Juba. President Salva Kiir presided over the cabinet meeting on Friday. Speaking to the press, Deputy Minister of Information, Deputy Aoyao, said the budget approval followed a memo presented by the Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, James Mawet. The memo outlined South Sudan's obligations to the Nile Basin Initiative and other regional and international organizations. Yao said that after deliberations, the cabinet directed the ministries of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, as well as Finance and Planning, to coordinate efforts to settle arrears owed to regional and international bodies. The Nile Basin Day event will bring together all member countries with the aim of promoting cooperation, sustainable water management, and equitable sharing of benefits among Nile Basin states. The Nile Basin Initiative was established on February 22, 1999. Officials say hosting the event presents an important opportunity for South Sudan to reaffirm its role in regional affairs and strengthen diplomatic and development partnerships within the bloc. A civil society group has issued a legal demand to the government of South Sudan over the prolonged shortage of passport and nationality card booklets, warning of possible court action if the issue is not resolved within 3 weeks. In a letter addressed to the government through the Ministers of Interior and Finance and Planning, as well as the Directorate of Nationality, Passports and Immigration, the Center for Peace and Advocacy said citizens have been unable to obtain passports and nationality cards for more than 5 consecutive months. CPA says the situation amounts to serious constitutional violations, arguing that the failure to issue the documents denies citizens their fundamental rights, including freedom of movement, equality before the law, access to public services, and participation in public affairs. The organization cited several provisions of the 2011 Constitution, including articles on citizenship, freedom of movement, political rights, and access to public services. It also noted that the shortage contradicts South Sudan's obligations under regional and international human rights instruments, including the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. According to CPA, citizens continue to pay fees of about $100 for an ordinary passport, with higher fees charged for official, special business, and diplomatic passports. The group alleges that mismanagement, lack of transparency, and weak accountability in the use of these funds have contributed to the shortage of booklets. The organization further warned that discussions on national elections are unattainable, with many citizens lack proof of citizenship, effectively rendering them stateless. The organization is demanding the immediate restoration of passport and nationality and card booklets nationwide, public disclosure of the causes of the shortage, transparency in the management of revenues from the services, and a guarantee of uninterrupted issuance going forward. CPA has given the government 3 weeks to comply, warning that failure to do so will result in legal action, seeking constitutional remedies on behalf of affected citizens. Veteran politician and former National Minister of Transport Dr. Lasuba Memo has urged journalists to uphold the principles of professionalism and resist giving politicians free platforms to advance their personal or political agendas. Dr. Lam said that journalists must go beyond reading prepared questions during interviews and instead engage politicians with relevant follow-up questions to ensure accountability. According to him, the ability to ask follow-up questions is what truly defines professional journalism. He cautioned media practitioners against allowing politicians to misuse media platforms to promote and check narratives, warning that such practices undermine the role of the press. Dr. Lam further criticized the tendency of some journalists to ignore contradictions in politicians' statements, adding that accountability requires challenging inconsistencies. Dr. Lam made the remarks during the memorial service honoring the late veteran journalist Emmanuel Joseph Akia held in Juba on Saturday. The event brought together journalists, political leaders, and members of the public to reflect on Akia's contribution to journalism and the role of the media in promoting truth and accountability. This is our Radio Morning News, and now to the international scene. Sudan's military-led government has returned to the country's capital after nearly 3 years of operating from its wartime base in the eastern city of Port Sudan. Sudan's Prime Minister Kamel Idris told reporters on Saturday that the government of hope was officially back in Khartoum and would begin efforts to improve services for the city's beleaguered residents. The military was forced out by the paramilitary rapid support forces when civil war erupted between the two sides in 2023. The army recaptured it in a significant breakthrough last March. Khartoum has been recovering from years of fighting. Roughly 5 million fled the city at the height of the conflict, according to the UN. And Iran has warned it will retaliate if attacked by the US. As BBC sources and activists report, hundreds of protesters have now been killed in an escalating government crackdown. The BBC said it counted about 180 body bags in footage from a morgue near Tehran. Meanwhile, the US-based human rights activist news agency says it has verified the deaths of 495 protesters and 48 security personnel nationwide. Another 10,600 people have been detained over the fourth night of unrest. The US has threatened to intervene in Iran over the killing of protesters, but on Sunday, US President Donald Trump said that Iranian leaders had called him and that they want to negotiate. This is our Radio Morning News, and to end this bulletin is a recap of the headlines. The National Council of Ministers has approved the budget for South Sudan to host the Nile Basin Day celebrations in February, paving the way for the country to stage a major regional event in Juba. A civil society group has issued a legal demand to the government of South Sudan over the prolonged shortage of passport and nationality card booklets, warning of possible court action if the issue is not resolved within 3 weeks. And veteran politician and former National Minister of Transport Dr. Lasuba Memo has urged journalists to uphold the principles of professionalism and resist giving politicians free platforms to advance their personal or political agendas. That's the end of our Radio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287870. It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I am Lasuba Memo. Thank you for listening.
فتش على راديو مثالي. آي راديو هو جوابك. لا تختار آي راديو في 5 الأسباب